You guys realize all the secrets you've just been telling Josh can actually hear you?
We have no secrets. We have really no secret.
I'm totally kidding.
It's okay. We passed that now.
You're past that now?
Yeah. No
All right,
problem.
you guys, thanks for allowing me in here on International Women's Day. It's a great way to celebrate it. How are you today?
We're good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks for celebrating women.
Showing up at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
That's not a problem.
You know?
It's a great way to spend the day, right? To spend the night.
With women.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way. Speaking of International Women's Day, what does it mean to you two individually?
Empowerment. Yeah, I was at an event earlier with, I guess the mayor hosted his first International Women's Day event, and it was, everyone that was there was so happy to be there, and you can just tell, just so supportive of each other.
Do you think it's different now celebrating International Women's Day than it was, say, 10 or even 20 years ago?
I'll answer
You're
that
younger.
because I'm coming from Slavic world, from the Eastern Europe, where the International Women's Day always celebrated. In fact, it's a day off.
Oh, is that right?
It's the biggest day of the year when all women get flowers and gifts and getting great love. But sometimes it's almost because it's International Women's Day. So, but for me, March 8th, it's the celebration of the women who can do anything. There's no limits. The sky is the limit. Everything is possible.
Which it truly is, right?
It truly is. And I've learned that actually from Ida many years ago, but I was lucky enough to grow in a family where my father and mother always embraced my whatever I wanted to do, right? So, but lucky, somehow the universe worked that we met, and it only made it even stronger, the feeling of being anything is possible, of doing anything, and anything is, sky's the limit.
You really do like each other.
Yeah.
You like each other a lot.
We kind of do, yeah. We don't have to say much.
Yeah.
It just works.
I think we've known each other, what, 16 years?
16 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Yeah, it's nice to work together and actually.
And guess
really
what?
like
We
people
haven't
with it.
changed.
Oh, we
Not a
look
bit.
better.
We actually look better.
Oh, we look way better than when we first met.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna, go into details when I met you.
If I was to bring up your business history and your accomplishments, that would pretty much take up the entire show that we're going to do right now.
That's very generous of you.
No, you've done a lot of things successfully, but I noticed that a lot of the things that you have, a lot of the business ventures you seem to have taken on, were things that you were doing for yourself, and then recognized the business opportunity out of something that you wanted to do personally. Is that the case with the FaceBar and Yoga Public? How did those things come about?
Yeah, it is. I enjoy something, and then I try and find the best in class of what I enjoy, and then I get so excited I have to share it. And I love turning that into a business, and I loved turning that into a business in Winnipeg.
Do you find that you're always looking for an opportunity business-wise, or were you generally just looking for, hey, you know what, I'm looking for something fitness-wise, because I know you're a fitness buff. My wife's kind of a crazy fitness buff too. Did you find, was it the business portion that brought you to it first, or was it, I just truly enjoy doing this, and then saw the opportunity?
With yoga, as a runner, and shot all cartilage out of my right knee, so I couldn't run, so I had to find something to do. And when you run, stretching isn't a big component of.
Usually,
No,
right.
it's not. You got to run.
And she's not flexible at all.
And so I started doing yoga as just a complete opposite. And I really struggled to find a yoga studio and class that could fit into my schedule. So I would have multiple memberships, and the class passes would expire. I couldn't show up late. I was so frustrated practicing. And I thought, wow, that's a business. And I thought I could just do a better job with it. And so we did.
Well, let's talk about Ten Spa. How did that come about?
It happened in the facial room of a little skincare place. It used to be Eaton Place, and then it was a City Place.
Yeah, Eaton Place. Crazy.
When I was.
That's a good story.
It was just my job when I was doing facial, and then Ida came for facial.
So you're working somewhere.
I was working somewhere.
roll into
Elena
work.
was my esthetician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. kind of like, you know how you have your bartender?
Right.
Yeah, she was like that.
So, and then we started talking.
Yeah.
And then all the talking went from personal to everything.
Yeah. So we're
And-
talking each visit. You guys are getting into deeper and deeper conversations.
Yeah, and then she would start coming every week. And then, you know, we had really, really good, interesting, in-depth conversation about everything. And it sort of became sort of a lifestyle. I was looking forward for her to come in. She was looking forward, I guess, to come.
Well,
See me?
Elena's like, I mean, we've got great facialists and great people that do treatments, but I've never had someone better than Elena.
You just take
Yeah,
her.
no, she was the best, and so I always appreciated that, and also a good listener. And oftentimes when I'd come, it's because I was stressed out. So rather than maybe, you know, going for a drink, or I couldn't really go for a run, I'm going to go for a facial.
Yeah.
And so there, Elena would be there, and she'd be multitasking and doing so many things. And I thought, oh, I'd love to work with her because she can, you know, we can grow together, and we did.
So you decided to open TenSpa.
Well, I was saying to Elena that at the time we were suing the casino. The Crystal Casino was a tenant in the hotel.
Yep.
And the hotel had sued, and we went to trial. And I was saying to Elena, you know what? If we win this trial, we're going to open up a spa. If we win, we're going to open up a spa, and we're going to go
we better
traveling, and we're
win.
going to make it.
Yeah.
We're going to make it better win.
I had no
and
doubt.
Elena, you tell her what happened.
Yeah.
And so we won, but-
yeah, and then so one day she just showed up with the newspaper in her hands, and she just showed me a free press, front page of the free press, with the articles in the middle of me doing somebody's facial. And I said, wait,
So,
I'm
hang on a second,
busy.
lady.
I'm busy, just wait. But yeah, and then that's when it started. So so very shortly I quit my job, and I was very appreciative of everything, the experience that place made me who I am, and
Right.
that made me open the door, a place and just opened the whole horizon and everything. So we started to build bigger and better and true place where you can come, and where I would bring myself, or I would bring my daughter, my family, my people, my friends.
But it's not just a place that you work and you leave.
No,
It has to be something that you would, if you didn't work here, you would be a customer.
Exactly. It's with a true service. We say what we do, we deliver what we promise, and we work on it every single day.
But I think the big part of creating TenSpa and creating every treatment at TenSpa, oftentimes you can go into a business and you can buy the business. You can buy the protocols. You can go to a skincare company and buy the protocols, and then those are your treatments. It's not the approach that we took when we thought of what TenSpa would be. We did a lot of extensive hands-on research. We went to Los Angeles, we went to Chicago, we still do that. We went to New York, and we said, what is the best? What are the best, not the best spas, because you can always make a pretty place.
Right.
And TenSpa is beautiful, but what were the best treatments? And so sometimes we'd find ourselves in the basement of someone's, walk-up townhouse on the Upper West Side, with no air conditioning, but the woman was doing those great, remember that facial massage. And so once we felt like we had tried enough really good treatments, we deconstructed our own. And we said, what didn't we like? That's the first thing. What didn't we like about the treatment? Because we're not going to do anything we didn't like.
Right.
And then we built up every treatment by the minute.
That would be tough research,
was
dealing
fun.
with things that, okay, but what about the ones that you don't like? You're going through a treatment and now of course you want to,
But you like that. You want that because you know you're not going to do it.
There were days
but you still have to experience it.
Yeah, it's via negativa. What don't you want to
there were
deliver?
days we would get 5 treatments a day,
Yeah.
and there would be hardly any skin left, right? But we would know exactly what works, what not, what doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
As your business progresses, how do you determine what treatments are on your menu or not? Like, maybe this one's outdated, maybe this one doesn't work anymore, maybe something new has come up.
Yeah, we don't have any outdated treatments. That was what when I think
Because
when I
it's the
look
same
at
way, skin is skin. Treated the
No,
same.
but not just
No,
that.
no.
We did such a good job.
They were so innovative, and they're so far ahead of everything.
Yeah.
Because we, like Ira said, we deconstruct them. I actually do have an engineering degree, so I look at every treatment as a part of the big machine, all the different parts, how they all work complement each other, how we're going to get from here to here, right? So, and it still delivers.
Right.
We get better tools. Technologies are still progressing, get better tools, better equipment. We get maybe better formulation of that same kind of idea products.
Like a better way to deliver the same service.
That's exactly right, yeah. Because skin is still skin, just
Right.
like you said.
Yeah.
Our human body is still human bodies.
Right. So if a treatment is good, it should be able to stand the test of time.
And it doesn't. You know, we go get tune-ups, you know, do these little junkets at least once a year, probably mostly twice a year. And I think that probably in the last 4 or 5 years, up until we got to FaceBar, we haven't had a lot of, like, we didn't experience in Los Angeles or New York anything better than what we were already delivering.
Nice,
we
yeah.
couldn't improve what we were doing. And I think part of the testimonial to that is, you know, we shoot a lot of movies in Winnipeg, and so we have a lot of celebrity clientele now. And I think it was Renee Zellweger, and she was Academy Award. She was presenter.
She was presenting at Oscars 2
Yep.
years ago.
Yep.
And so she was filming here. So she was here for 6 weeks, I think. She was staying in hotels, so she would come in the spa every other day, and she would come to see me. And I don't really do much anymore facials, but for her, she was a very interesting person for me to work with. Very interesting. So we did this, and then so we did her facial just before she was presenting Oscars. And
That's awesome.
Yeah. So watching her presenting at Oscars on the big screen on the high definition screen, I was proud of myself. She looked beautiful. I was
You're
like,
like, looks great. Looks
perfect,
awesome.
perfect. And she trusted us to do it. She didn't have to do it.
No, but I think the comment that she made is, I don't have to go back to LA.
Yeah.
I don't have to go
For
back
that.
to LA early for that, to get
She's-
ready.
yeah.
And get ready here.
I guess all of your research traveling around to different
Yeah.
places.
Well, we
it
know,
pays
and we
off.
know when people say, you have really good facials, we go, yeah, we know.
we know.
We know.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Or people say, oh, you know, I go to this place and this place. Oh, yeah, sure. We know. We've been there.
That's awesome.
I know, we guess probably sound a little bit cocky, but
No,
we are.
you've done your due diligence, right?
We've done it. No, we're good.
Right. And that was the whole point of doing the research in the first place. Otherwise, why bother doing it, right?
Yeah.
So, Elena, you sit on the board to work on regulations and standards for esthetician schools.
Yeah, so this is my new recent another job that I have
Yeah.
now. I was invited by Apprenticeship Board of Manitoba to become an advisor and basically work on the school, on the curriculums for the school and the provincial exam standards. So we're revamping the whole criteria and whole concept of the aesthetic profession.
That's gotta be
and
a lot of
industry.
work, eh?
And a lot of
And
work,
that's a
but,
huge honor,
but I
obviously.
just realized I didn't even know. You know, I guess you never know how much you know until you put into the situation.
right, exactly.
So I realized doing that I do know, and and it's going very, very well. So we're actually going to change our industry, and Manitoba is the only province in the whole Canada that has a licensing system for estheticians. So our estheticians in Manitoba are better than anywhere in the whole country. But
So
now
it's unregulated everywhere else, or there's the loosey-goosey kind of rules?
pretty much.
Not. I think Manitoba is the most regulated.
Most regulated,
Yeah,
yeah.
or
But now-
educated. Regulated, probably not the right word. Educated. You have to, the
Educated,
most
yeah.
hours you have to put in.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But
the
now
most
it's going to be even
apprenticeship
better.
you have to, yeah.
Even better. It's going to go with all of the newest standards and trends and everything that's happening in the industry, because industry is so much ahead of what's happening in school.
Right.
It's going so fast. So now it's going to be all catching up.
Gotcha.
And Elena's been very humble because she has a CEDESCO certification.
CEDESCO, which
CEDESCO, yeah,
CEDESCO.
which is an international certification. And
cosmetology.
In cosmetology, which I think 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she had to write a thesis. I mean, while she was running like 70 people at 10 spa, she, was also
You are modest.
taking this course.
It's crazy.
Because I think you have to be really good at what you do. You have to be the best at what you do.
But you have to love it, right?
Yeah,
If you love it,
yeah.
then
And you have
that's-
to love what you preach, and you have to know what you preach, and I feel confident going in the room knowing that I can answer questions.
Right.
And I know it.
Right.
If I don't, I'll go research, I'll find it.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the face bar. Let's
Okay.
talk about the signature peel.
Huh? You haven't had it yet, though.
No, you know what's funny? Because I came in here and Liz met me at the door and we were walking and I felt kind of goofy when I said to her, hey, your skin looks beautiful. I literally said, and she's like, I did the peel. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't believe I just said that, but your skin looks so good, I had to tell her that it looked good. So let's talk about the signature peel and how the face bar came to you guys.
I think that's a neat story because I was in Los Angeles and oftentimes I go with Elena. I think this time I was kind of on my own, and I ended up at FaceBar LA. And it was kind of like, not quite this kind of setup, but something similar. And I had the treatment, $69, and that was Trisha's tagline. We give great face from $69. I thought that's pretty cheeky. And so, and I wasn't even sure what it was, but went on the chair and I was like, it was hurt. And I had my first kind of chemical peel, and the results were just amazing.
Okay, what were you thinking the days before you saw the actual results? Like, it's a 5-day thing, that's a process, right?
Yeah, well, I just thought the experience of the treatment was something like I'd never had before, because it was so intense. Nothing shy about it. It was, and it just felt really authentic. And so I think maybe by the time I was on the airplane, I was peeling, within a few days. I said, Elena, look at my skin. And so I said, you have to come, you have to come. And we went out, I think it was
So
the
you guys
next
went
week.
back?
Oh, we went back. I said, Elena, this
You have to get it.
yeah,
You have to get.
you have to get a peel. And the thing is, when we would go to Los Angeles, as Elena said, sometimes we'd have 4 or 5 treatments a day. We'd be there for 4 or 5 days. We took 20 treatment, and it's not just facials. It would be the whole gamut.
Right, whatever they offer.
But once you do the peel, you can't do anything else.
Like, that's it.
No, because you're gonna peel. Your face is
Then
intense. It's
we'll learn
burning.
after the peel. It's a process that your body goes through. So you don't want to interfere. You don't want to do anything else.
Right.
Because it kind of defeats the purpose,
Right.
right?
You need to know that the peel is doing the work, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we took Almira, who was doing treatments today, and so we kind of went out on a junket, and we weren't really going, I don't know if we can do this in Winnipeg. It's me, I don't know. We kind of, and we it's not all that we've always agreed on everything, and that's the good part. That's part of the creative process.
Right.
And so I was back in Los Angeles last year around this time, and I went to the storefront, and it wasn't there. Because you can usually just kind of walk in, because it's a 30-minute treatment and you can do multiple treatments. So you didn't really need an appointment. And I Googled and I went, now she's in Beverly Hills. And so I went, and she had scaled right down. And I was getting my peel, I thought, if I ever saw scalable business, it was that. And I don't understand why it didn't work, especially in Los Angeles, because we went to Skin Laundry, we went to Face House, we went to a lot of other similar places that were doing these express facials.
Multiplying, yeah.
Yeah, that were growing, but this one, it didn't. And so I asked to talk to Trisha when as I was burning my way through my treatment, and I left her my number, and I was in LA for 3 or 4 days, and no one called me back. And so I went online and I said, okay, I gotta up my game. I gotta book the most expensive treatment she has, which was microneedling. It was $600. And I said, surely if I go there, that Trisha's gonna deliver that treatment, then I'll get to talk to her, because I'm stalking her and she's not returning my calls. And so I went for microneedling while I was having a peel, which is not a brave thing to do, but I was determined to find out what happened. And so I had the needling done, not by Trisha, and it was a guy. And I was so disappointed, because that's a lot of money to spend on a treatment, and I didn't need it. So I said to him, I was really trying to get a hold of Trisha. And
That's why I'm here.
I was about to go. I would have stopped short of going, I'm here, where is she?
Yeah, where is she? And he said, well, she's my sister. And I said,
I wish I'd asked before I started.
I said, can you call her? You put her on the phone? And so he did. And so I kind of said who I was, and I said, I loved FaceBar, and I don't know what happened, but I want to scale it out in Canada.
That's when the business sense came in.
Yeah, that's when
So
it was just,
she
to
knew
me, it was
enough-
like,
Yeah, she knew
like-
enough of the industry then.
I'm like, and so she said, well, sure. I said, I need to meet you. And so we met at the hotel called the Montage, the patio of the Montage, beautiful hotel in Beverly Hills. And we, had a drink. And so I just kind of was talking to Trisha about it, about what my idea was. I says, maybe it's saturated in Los Angeles, and maybe it's harder to scale out, but take this into a secondary market with all the press that you have and what you've delivered and how great the treatment is. I said, let me try. And she said, okay.
Okay, just like that.
Like that, yeah. And I said, oh, well, do you want me to write something up? And she said, sure. And I said, well, okay. And I had a friend who's a lawyer, and I called Marty up and I said, Marty, can you write me up a one-page licensing agreement? Let's keep it really tight. And I did, and I sent it to her the next day. We met at the same place. She signed it. I said, no,
like
don't
that.
you want to take it? She goes, no, it's fine. She goes like, listen, I'm not going to Canada, so you make it work, you make it work. So that's where we are. We're either going to make it work or... And so that was how we got the licensing rights to FaceBar Canada and her two treatments, which is the Signature Peel and the Glow. In the secondary markets, in LA, you can probably make a living on two treatments. I don't know if you can. In Winnipeg, you need to kind of appeal to a bigger demographic. So I talked to Elena, I said, like, our two most popular treatments, one thing that Elena, the best extractionist in the world, that's when you squeeze your pimples. That's what, like, there's nobody better. And so that's one of the things that in the training side that Elena's, that we've done at Ten Spa. And then we had a treatment called the hot peel that Elena said, I can take that one down to 30 minutes. I just put the masks on, and it was one of our favorite treatments. Well, one of the only treatments that we actually have on our Ten Spa menu that we didn't deconstruct, that we actually took from the skincare. That was the only one.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, well, what do we have now? We got Peel, Glow, Lift, and Purge, which is the extractions. I said, that's good. Now we've covered the gamut. And so we thought we had a menu. And then one of the things that we've never done, not even successfully, it's probably because I don't like the spirit of it, is selling really expensive skincare product, is going for a facial. You spend 10 spots, $150 for a facial. By the time you pay tax and tip, it's like, you're up to $200. And then if we're going to sell you product, it's another $500.
Yeah.
And we just never we never forced product sales. And
we
so
do sell it.
We sell it,
it's
but not.
We don't want to push it. This is
Right.
not
If you want
something.
it, here it is. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
We educate.
I used to cry. I used to go for a facial and I'd leave $700. I spent $700. Like didn't want anyone to have that experience. I want them to come back for the treatment.
Right.
And if they want product, it was there. And that's where the second part of the idea came in, where I said to Elaine, let's just dispense like we do in our back bar. We dispense in bulk to the treatment rooms. We get professional grade product, like you saw in the dispensary here.
Right.
And she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, let's just sell it by the ounce. I said, it's a fraction of the price. Like, you have bulk foods, why can't you have bulk skincare? So we went down another rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole was disrupt. And because when you're buying skincare product, everything comes in plastic, and then there's a box, and then you open the box, and then there's cardboard, and then the cardboard, and then you got the product.
Right. So many layers to get to it.
So many layers to get to it, and it's not necessarily environmentally friendly. And why don't we just look at dispensing? So Elena set up the meeting with one of our big back bar lines is Epicurean. They've been with us since we opened at Ten Spa.
Yeah.
So Elena set up a meeting.
Thank you.
Elena set up a meeting with the product development team at Epicurean, and we said, this is what we want to do with your product. We can put it under our label, or we can just say it's your product. So what would you prefer? And I guess Elena had a great reputation with them through Ten Spa, and they said, we want to partner this with you.
Nice.
Yeah.
They see huge potential, and they're also feeling the same idea. This is what's happening everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So.
We're right. They were already on that
Yeah.
page. You just had to
Yeah.
bring it up.
They weren't there.
They weren't there.
As soon as they heard it.
Right. They just agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, that part was interesting. And then we had another skincare line that we use with 10 Skin RX, which is a little bit more higher grade professional line. So we also talked. Elena's got a great relationship.
We work with companies that manufacture, develop their products. We don't work with distribution. We work with companies directly.
That make the product.
Exactly, right.
So that
No middleman.
I met every single manufacturer, every person that behind all of our lines. We went to Portugal. I went to Bikami's lab in Montreal. I've seen the whole process, everything. We know all of the formulators. We know everything. So this is how we can trust, and we know what's in it, and so we have direct contact, direct relationship with the companies. So they can essentially develop anything for us.
Yeah, which is nice. It's not just some guy telling you what he thinks is in there
Right,
because he's
right.
pushing the product. It's someone who's actually
Right.
making the product.
And those companies trusted us because we've done it for so many years now. successfully, so they trust us that we can represent their products well.
Right. Because
Yeah.
business is all about relationships
That's
at the end of the
right,
day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's the skin dispensary. So we put the two pieces together. I went back to visit Tricia and I said, listen, I want to change the scope of, the licensing agreement. We like the name, we like the brand. She has an incredible reputation, an A-list celebrity clientele. But it's not just that, she has it because she's really good.
Does she know how good she is?
Yeah.
She does, but she's very easy about it. She just knows it works.
But she doesn't want to do the business.
She enjoys giving the service, but the business end of it.
Yeah, she wants
No.
to go on the beach to Mexico. And
No, but she doesn't want to
Well,
do
then it's a perfect relationship, right?
Yeah, so we think it's a pretty interesting relation. I love the business. I
didn't notice.
like the but I like I never thought I was artistic, because I always thought of art as a painting
special
or
skills,
writing poetry or something
Yeah.
like that. But there is an art to business. There is an art to taking something and then monetizing it.
What I learned from Ida from the very beginning, I didn't even know I have it in me. I didn't know I can do this. I had no idea. But I learned from her, and she always told me, you can do it. Anything is possible. You can do it.
It's like, okay, so you guys are now successful businesswomen,
Hope
right?
so.
What advice would you give to younger, upcoming business or women or girls who want to get into business?
This is the most interesting time because industries are being disrupted all the time. I mean, the investment industry is being disrupted because you do your own trades online. Lawyers are being disrupted because, a lot of those forms for houses and wills and whatever, it's online.
And
Download it.
technology has changed.
Technology is
things.
changing. We're in the hotel business. We were disrupted with the third-party Expedia sites that take 20% of your revenue. If you had one of the old grandfather clauses, otherwise it's even more than that.
Wow.
And so there's so much disruption happening. So I think that for young people is to look at the opportunity where you can disrupt.
Like, be one of the people that is actually disrupting a business and maybe thinking of it in an unconventional way.
Yeah, how do you deliver something you love a little bit more cost effective or at a little bit of a higher level?
Gotcha.
So I think that what we're doing with the skincare dispensary is a little bit disruptive. It's not like a huge idea, but it doesn't have to be a big idea.
Right.
Just give value.
How do you change as you're doing business? You guys have existing businesses. You've been in business for a while. How do you always try to think forward to, not be successful when your business has a possibility of being disrupted or it is being disrupted? To change with it.
I know, but that's fun though.
Is it?
It's like how do you maneuver?
Yeah, I think troubles are good. Troubles are perfect. I love troubles because it makes me perform better, makes me think better, makes me to come up with better ideas, and at the end, it all works out. We had enough troubles over the years. I think it only makes us stronger. I think that's what drives us. This is what makes us move. Otherwise, when everything is good, you just stop. You stop evolving. You stop.
And actually, when you've gone through that a few times, then you want to try and get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you see
Right?
things differently. Yeah.
I don't think you two. I can't picture that even when your businesses are running smooth, that you're just sitting there waiting for the next thing to happen.
No,
I think-
we're thinking a little bit ahead.
Right.
Thinking a
don't,
bit ahead. And even with FaceBar, we've got 10 spa and a 10 spa facial. 60 to 90-minute treatment. We ask you to come at least a half hour before, half hour after. The average stay of anyone that comes to 10 is 3 hours.
Wow.
And it's an experience for a lot of people, and this is great. And this is exactly what a lot of people want to do, and this
Right.
is great.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to do right there.
And what we did at FaceBar is we just said, well, there's the same market and a different demographic. There can be some of it's the same, some of it's different demographic. This was an opportunity for us to deliver high quality treatments, high quality skincare products at the lowest price point possible.
Right.
So creating value.
Right. And we're not talking a low quality product. We're talking
No.
an affordable product,
No.
high quality product.
High
Affordable
quality.
for the service you're providing.
Gotcha.
I go and get, oftentimes I think our manicure pedicures are the best. We own that protocol. It's very original. We haven't had to change it since we developed it at a aesthetic show in Las Vegas, where we thought we're not going to soak the feet. We had this whole
When we met
we
German
changed
podiatrist,
we changed the
Yeah.
protocol. But I don't always have the time to have a manicure pedicure at 10 Spa, and I'll go to a nail shop and I'll have a manicure pedicure done. So I don't have the time, but I just want the service.
Right.
So that's kind of what FaceBar is. It's you just need the service. You don't necessarily have the time.